Good morning, students. Now we'll start with part 2 of chapter 1, that is Heritage of India. Now, in the previous video, you have seen about the different culture, vegetation, natural heritage of Gujarat. But now we'll see India, land, and people. See now, primitive man came into existence simultaneously in India and East and South Africa. ये सब थियरी है, ये सब थियरी पर आता है. फाइन. Now mesmerized by varied and prosperous heritage, many foreign tribes came to India. Consequently, the remains of all tribes are found here. The Dravidians are considered to be the most ancient people of India. Yes, it is always read like Dravidians were the origins of India. We North Indian are actually Aryans. और वो जो साउथ इंडियन के लोग हैं वो Dravidians है. I will make you understand what these things are. But the modern researchers of linguistics and anthropology have proved that even before the Dravidians, 6 more tribes came and settled in India. So see now what it is all about. आप बोलोगे these are about the race. रेस का मतलब दौड़ने की रेस नहीं, रेस मतलब फिजिकल फीचर्स. नाउ इफ़ यू सी द होल वर्ल्ड, पीपल इन डिफरेंट प्लेसेस लुक डिफरेंट. मतलब चेहरा देख के पता चल जाता है कि ये किस रीजन से बिलोंग करता होगा. व्हेन वी सी अ बांग्लादेशी, अ पाकिस्तानी, हमें वहाँ से पता नहीं चलता कि वो पाकिस्तानी है या वो बांग्लादेशी है, पर हाँ इतना ज़रूर पता चलता है कि ये इंसान किसी एशिया कॉन्टिनेंट को बिलोंग करता है. When we see any Chinese type of person, almond shaped eyes हो, yellow skin हो, આપણે એમ કહીએ કે that person is ચીની person है, चीना जो देखा है. फाइन. So actually what are this religion? No, these are not religion. ये सब होते हैं रेस. रेस मतलब फिजिकल फीचर. एवरी रीजन हैज़ अ फिजिकल फीचर और उसी टाइप के पर्सन आपको वहाँ पे दिखते हैं. When we see any foreigner, we just say this person is foreigner. He may be from any country. He may be from Portugal, he may be from French, he may be from America, he may be from Romania. But for us, we think he is from foreign, मतलब European है. There are different countries, but a particular region has particular faces. So we are going to study about the different races who had come in India and settled over here. The first is Negritoid, Hapsi. In Gujarati, Hapsi people we know. These people are the people of Africa continent. वहाँ की जो facial features है वो black people. Fine. Some historians believe that Negrids or Negroes are the most ancient inhabitants of India. They came from Africa via Balochistan to India. Balochistan is a place of Pakistan. They were having black skin, height of 4 to 5 feet and curly hair. Now all of you, if not proper, हम कोई अफ्रीका नहीं गए, but in TV we have seen the faces of this region. Fine, these people are tall in height, they have curly hair, they have broad lips, they are black in color. So this race is called Negroes race, or you can say Hapsi people race. Then second comes Australoids. Australoids मतलब इंडिया में उसे कहते हैं निषाद. Now Australoids and Australia are different thing. Fine. Australian people are not Australoids. Australoids is a type of race. People of this tribe came from Southeast Asia. Now which are the countries of Southeast Asia? Malaysia, Singapore, then Indonesia, Philippines. These are the countries of Southeast Asia. And if you have noted, then these people have some different face. They are neither Chinese nor they are Indian. They have different type of face, and these faces are called Australoid face. Their physical features were black skin with broad head, flat nose, short in height. The Aryans who came later on to India called them Nishad. The origin of the tribe like Kol and Munda, Khasi, tribes of Assam and tribes of Nicobar and Myanmar have similarities to Australoids. Their contribution in the development of Indian culture and civilization is immense. They made clay utensils, wore cotton cloth, knew many other skills. They had great religious belief too. Now see, Assam is a part of India. Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, Manipur. When you see these people, you won't say that these are Chinese. हाँ, इनके फेसेस आलमंड शेप आइज़ है, पर फिर भी वो चाइनीज़ के जैसे तो नहीं दिखते. Why? Their skin color is different. And just by seeing the eyes and nose, you cannot say that person is Chinese. उनकी जो रेस है उनको कहते हैं ऑस्ट्रेलॉइड्स. जो आसाम ईस्ट इंडिया पूरा है वो ऑस्ट्रेलॉइड रेस को बिलोंग करता है. मलेशिया भी कंट्री इसी रेस को बिलोंग करती है. इंडोनेशिया भी इसी रेस को बिलोंग करती है. दे आर समवॉट ब्लैक इन कलर. दे हैव फ्लैट फेस, flat nose, almond shaped eyes, but then too they look different than the Chinese race. Now, the third comes Dravidians. Dravidians, it is said that the original people of India were Dravidians. So, we will see about Dravidians. Originally, Dravidians belonged to India. They were the direct descendants of Stone Age civilization and creator of Mohenjo-daro culture. The tribes which came from north survived with the language and cultural features. Later on they were called as Dravidians. See South Indian state, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Each state के जो लोग हैं वो ड्रेविडियन रेस को बिलोंग करते हैं. हम जब भी देखते हैं हमें देख के पता चल जाता है दैट दे आर नॉट फ्रॉम नॉर्थन साइड, दे आर फ्रॉम द पीपल ऑफ सदर्न इंडिया. So it is because of the physical features we can understand that this person belonged to which place of the earth. So then Dravidians gave the concept of mother as goddess and father as god. So the thought of Parvati and Shiva as mother and father developed. Moreover, the tradition of worshipping nature is a gift of Dravidians. हमारी जो सब आदतें हैं actually these were the things which were followed by Dravidians. Even today we consider our parents as our god. So this concept was given by Dravidians. We worship with dhoop, deep and agarbatti every day in our house. So this is also a gift of Dravidians. Besides nature and animal worshipping etc. are their great features. Original deities of Dravidians have been accepted by Aryans and were re-established by them as a god of culture with the pace of time. Aryan culture was deeply internationalized by Dravidians. So, though we Aryans, it is said that we Aryans are outsiders, but our culture is completely accepted what was followed by Dravidians. Hence, intercaste marriage took place. Dravidians had matriarchal system of family. See यहाँ पे head लिखा है. Head मतलब थी. Now what is this system? This system is such a system where a female is a head of a family. A clan is known by the female. हम जो आज father के नाम से जाने जाते हैं. But in this system, if a child is born, he would be known by his mother's name. बट यहाँ पे हेड लिखा है मतलब इट वॉज फॉलोड. नाउ इन थ्रू आउट इंडिया वी फॉलो पैट्रियार्कल फैमिली सिस्टम. वी गिव द नेम ऑफ आवर फादर. फाइन. देन कम्स Dravidians progressed a lot in different craft and arts like building of boat and raft, weaving, then spinning, dyeing, etc. Due to the dominance of Aryans, they shifted to South India and settled there. As a result, today we can see people speaking Dravidian family languages like Tamil, Telugu, Kannada and Malayalam. Now Tamil, obviously नाम से पता चल जाता है कि Tamil is a language of Tamil Nadu. Telugu, you all know Bahubali. Bahubali सब ने देखी है. Bahubali is actually a film from Telugu cinema. Telugu language is spoken in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Then comes Kannada. Kannada language belong करती है कर्नाटका को. And last is Malayalam. Malayalam is a language of Keralian people. Now we'll see other tribes like Mongoloids, Alpine, Dinaric, Armenoids tribe were also there in India. Now comes Mongoloids. Now they came to India from North China via Tibet and settled down at North Assam, Sikkim, Bhutan and West Bengal. They gradually Indianized themselves. Mongoloids people possess the physical characteristic like yellow complexion, flat face, chubby cheeks, almond-shaped eyes, having yellow complexion, मंगोलॉइड्स वेर नोन एज किराट। नाउ जब भी ठंडी की सीज़न में टिबेटियन लोग यहाँ पे आते, यू विल सी you should notice the face, even you have. See what type of faces these people have. They have almond shaped eyes, then their skin is somewhat yellow and they have chubby cheeks. So देख के पता चल जाता है कि चीने लोग आए हैं. So these are the features of Mongoloid race. Then comes Alpine, Dinaric and Armenoids. These people migrated from Central Asia. All these three tribes have similarities. The origin of these tribes are found in large number in Gujarat, Saurashtra, Maharashtra, Bengal, Odisha, formerly known as Orissa. Now, Alpine are the people of Central Asia. इनकी फिजिकल फीचर्स क्या होती है? दे आर नॉट एकदम वाइट स्किन लोग नहीं होते हैं. दे आर सम वॉट pale than white. Then they have broad head but they have round shape. ना सब गोरे लोग मतलब यूरोपियन नहीं बन जाते हैं. फाइन. They have broad head and round type of face. These are the people of Central Asia. You can say people of Greece, then people of Romania, then people of not Armenia. So if you properly notice these people, they don't like exactly as Europeans. Then comes Dinaric. Dinaric are also fair skinned people. उनको olive skin कह सकते हैं. Not exactly एकदम white नहीं, not like Britishers. But the thing, they have long face and broad head. You cannot understand, see every person हम सिर्फ ऐसा सोचते हैं कि इसका चेहरा अलग है. But actually these are the type of races. और ये पर्टिकुलर रीजन को टाइप ऑफ फेस बिलोंग करते हैं. एक एवरेज हाइट होती है ना, इंडिया में एक एवरेज हाइट है. इंडियन पीपल्स आर नॉट बहुत टॉल नहीं होते इंडिया के लोग, बिकॉज इट इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ द रेस दैट बिलोंग्स इन इंडिया. नाउ इफ़ यू सी द ऑस्ट्रेलियन पीपल्स और इफ़ यू सी द अफ्रीकन पीपल, एवरेज हाइट उनकी ज़्यादा ही होती है. इट इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ द रेस. एंड देन कम्स अर्मेनॉइड्स. अर्मेनॉइड्स आर द पीपल ऑफ सेंट्रल एशिया, अर्मेनिया, दैन कजाकिस्तान. वो थोड़े चाइनीज़ को भी मिलते हैं और थोड़े आर्मेनियंस को भी मिलते हैं. एक्चुअली दिस थ्री रेस आर द सब रेसेस ऑफ कॉकेशियन रेस. एक कॉकेशियन रेस करके होती है जो यूरोप और एशिया को मिला के बनती है. इस रेस के सब पार्ट्स है अल्पाइन, दिनारिक एंड आर्मेनॉइड्स. सो नाउ विल सी, so we have to study about Mongoloids, Alpine, Dinaric, Dravidians and Australoids and Negroes. We have seen the physical features of Mongoloids, Negroes, Australoids. Now comes the Aryans, मतलब हम लोग. We North Indian people are actually Aryans. The Nordic Aryan were the creator of Aryan civilization in India. Hindus were called Aryans in the ancient time, and the area where they were densely populated was called Aryavrat. As 7 rivers were flowing over there, that region was named as Saptasindhu. In ancient time, first Aryan population was concentrated in the northwest. See, northwest matlab states of Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, then comes MP. All these states comes in northwest. The area of Aryavat was extended up to Mithila, that is Bihar, in the east, and in south it spread up to Vindhyachal. Vindhyachal आता है महाराष्ट्र में. सो महाराष्ट्र के बाद का रीजन अगर आप देखोगे तो द्रविडियन रेस को चला जाता है. सो आर्यंस आर द पीपल कमिंग फ्रॉम जम्मू कश्मीर, हिमाचल प्रदेश एंड अप टू महाराष्ट्र और ईस्ट साइड में अप टू बिहार, एंड देन ईस्टर्न इंडिया कम्स टू ऑस्ट्रेलॉइड रेस. फॉर एग्जांपल आसाम, मणिपुर, मिजोरम, ये सब ऑस्ट्रेलॉइड्स और मंगोलॉइड रेस में चले जाते हैं. एंड साउथ इंडिया इज ऑफ द्रविडियन रेस. सो इंडिया में एक्चुअली अगर हम देखें तो 4 टाइप ऑफ रेसेस रहती है, दैट इज आर्यन, देन कॉकेशियन, देन मंगोलॉइड्स एंड द्रविडियंस. नॉट सॉरी मंगोलॉइड्स, ऑस्ट्रेलॉइड्स एंड द्रविडियंस. So they were advanced people than any other contemporary tribes. This vast land was recognized by various names such as Bharat Bhumi, Bharat Khand and Bharat Varsha, after the name of King Arya Bharat of भारत कुल ट्राइब. भारत को अगर आप लोगों ने महाभारत अभी देखी होगी, दैन उसमें भारत राजा का रोल किसने किया था? राज बब्बर ने किया था. रिसेंटली जो प्ले हुई थी नेशनल पर, दैन ही वॉज द एक्चुअल द किंग ऑफ भारत वंश. Aryans were nature lovers. They loved and worshipped the trees, the rivers, the mountains, the sun, the wind and the rain. They had proposed hymns, मतलब श्लोक्स, for praying at various natural elements. See, these are, हमने पहले ही पढ़ा कि द्रविडियन रेस की काफ़ी सारी आदतें आर्यंस ने एक्सेप्ट कर ली थी. So these were actually the habits of Dravidians which were accepted by Aryans. In due course of time, some religious ceremonies like recitation of Vedas, performing यज्ञs and other activities became prevalent in India. यज्ञ और ये सब चीज़ें हमारे कंट्री में होती हैं. There was wild amalgamation of those tribes with their specific style of living, and harmonious culture was formed, which gave India a glorious and prosperous heritage. These foreigners and Indian tribes amalgamated in such a way over a long period of time that they lost their individual identity through intercaste marriages. Now it is, you can say, India is like a mingle of various races and culture. काफ़ी सारों के कल्चर भी मिक्स हो गए और देन रेसेस भी मिक्स हो गई थी. Outsiders and local people were greatly influenced by language, script, names and religious beliefs, played a vital role in Indianizing these foreigners. Since ancient time, a composite culture has been created in India. They all then became Indians. Yes, we all are Indians. In short, in ancient time, the amalgamation of various culture enriched Indian culture by making it prosperous and variegated. Now, we'll see preservation and conservation of our heritage. See, our heritage is the most ancient in the world, and it is our duty to preserve it. So, each aspect of Indian heritage has made India eye-catching, picturesque and attractive. It is because of this nature of India that India पूरे दुनिया में सबसे अलग कंट्री तरीके से जानी जाती है. बिकॉज हमारी कंट्री में बहुत सारे लैंग्वेजेस है, बहुत सारे कल्चर्स है, बहुत सारे रिलीजन है और एज आई सेड नंबर ऑफ रेसेस भी है. Heritage brought a glory to the nation. India attained a leading position in the world by keeping its rich heritage protected and preserved. Thus, it is a primary and pious duty of every Indian to see that nobody harm our ancient memorials and also to preserve places having historical importance and values. See, every country preserves its natural and cultural heritage. क्यों? Because it is a symbol of the past. हमारा past कैसा था? So it is a duty of every person to take care of its heritage. Now we'll see two points for the preservation and conservation of heritage. To understand the importance of our harmonious culture, prosperity and to preserve it, why it should preserve. Second, to maintain forest, tank, rivers, ponds and wild animals and birds along with maintaining the natural environment and to show compassion for all the living creatures. Then last is protection of public property and giving up violence are also included in it. Thus, nature has created beautiful landscape. We should maintain the purity and beauty of these places considering to be our moral duty. Indian heritage is an outcome of the development of the people of India over a long period of time. Nature has generously donated abundant prosperity to India. Yes, it has. See, think about that. Himalayas, the beauty of India. Then, if we say paradise on the earth, then it's come Kerala. वहाँ पर भी इतनी सारी natural beauties हमें दी है. So it is our duty to maintain and to take care of the natural plus cultural heritage of India. So we'll finish over here.
Years ago, an ancient group of people marched from Central Asia down the mountain corridor into South Asia. They were a nomadic and aggressive people armed with horse chariots and iron blade weapons. They were the mythic Aryans. The inhabitants of South Asia at the time were a peaceful people in contrast who simply lived off their own land. They worshipped the earth, their goddess, for sustaining them with her fertility. The Dravidian populace was a feminine culture, more concerned with harmony than war. But what happened when these two met is a theme you can find throughout history, a masculine warlike civilization overcoming the more passive feminine. Despite this still being a controversial topic, the scientific studies themselves are pretty clear, and they have been for some time. If you take any one South Asian person and you look into their chromosomes, you'll find two basic clusters of genes. In other words, they're all descendant from two distinct cultures. You might have used the terms Aryan and Dravidian, but geneticists are more likely to call them ANI and ASI. But it's clear that some kind of invasion or gene migration did indeed take place. So what actually happened in detail? Several thousands of years ago, the entire subcontinent was populated by a group of hunter-gatherers which geneticists call AASI, vaguely related to Andaman Islands. Near the northwestern region, these same people built a great civilization called the Indus Valley, and there was also some gene flow with neighboring Iranian agriculturalists. But the resulting genetic makeup gave us the people of the Indus Valley civilization, which would loosely correspond to what most people call the Dravidians. But as mentioned before, these were not a warlike people. Their real contributions were spiritual in nature, and there's a lot of evidence to say that esoteric practices such as yoga actually developed here. The masculine and nomadic Aryan culture, on the other hand, was originally from a region just north of the Caucasus Mountains, the Eurasian steppe. Now these same people spread west into Europe, but also east into Central Asia, and being geared for war, their weapons and chariots were highly advanced. From their home in Central Asia, they swept down and overcame the Indus Valley pretty easily. What happened then is twofold. Firstly, they mixed with the indigenous inhabitants of the valley. Secondly, a substantial number of the valley people migrated south, and this is what gave rise to the two ancestral populations of ANI and ASI. What happened subsequently is a thorough mixing to the extent that every individual in the region had a significant mixture of both ASI and ANI in their own unique genetic makeup. The unique proportion of each individual just depended on geographical location as well as other factors, but in principle it was the same. The idea of the Aryan invasion was first proposed by the British, and people suspected, and still do, that it was a tactic to divide and rule, but it was really just a sound observation. But what the British anthropologists did not understand was the esoteric meaning behind it. So what was that? The two disparate cultures, Aryan and Dravidian, actually represent principles. This was vaguely acknowledged by some thinkers, but the masculine or yang culture, overcoming the feminine yin culture, is very symbolic of our times. There are many examples. Just think of the Spanish conquistadors or the Dutch invasion of South Africa, to name just two. That's the paradigm of the world today, and history generally repeats itself. But while this seems unbalanced, it's actually an opportunity. The real secret of our times is the ability to harmonize the two, to unite the yin and the yang energy, to let these energies which are now disparate to synergize with each other. This is really the esoteric task at hand, and it's something that can only happen within each individual. This is why it's so significant that every person has both principles present in their genetic makeup, giving them the opportunity to be an integrated individual. The esoteric yin and yang cultures mixing is to find harmony. This remains the task of society today, but most importantly, it remains the task of the individual today.
Subscribe to